Come and sit with me. Let's talk about everything. Together we can find answers to heal the mind. I have a lot of stories to tell. Times I ran and times I fell. I'm here to say it's gonna be okay. Take my hand, let's be on our way. We're sitting on top of the world. We're gonna rise above the fray. We're gonna find our peace. We're gonna lead the way. Come take a walk with me.
All right, it worked finally. You know, YouTube doesn't make it easy sometimes. But hi, that was the second version of my new intro song that I'm testing out. That one seemed a little long. That was a long intro, over a minute. So that probably won't work. But it seemed nice and gentle. I'm trying to be gentle today. Trying to have a quiet, calm, gentle thing. Wish me luck. Anyway, hi to everyone in chat. Hi, Just Me. Hi, Larissa, Melmac. Let's see who else is. Let me scroll through chat. Cecil Marlin, nice to see you. No Levy, I hope I said that right. So glad to see you all here. Man, you know, yesterday I was thinking, I should make an apology video for the live I did the other night because I'm trying to be all positivity focused and letting go of all this internet crap. And there I was, like, blah, 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 having a drama moment. And someone said to me, don't apologize for your healing journey. There's going to be ups and downs. You're going to have those rough days where you just need to scream into the wind. It's okay to do that, right? So yeah, exactly. I have feelings. I'm not a robot. I can't just sit here and be smiley happy all the time. That's not how it works. So you're getting to see the real side of things, and it was a good chat. I got to talk to Kresha. I always love talking to Kresha, and she got to say some things. And Kresha and I are both just sitting here screaming at the wind. So sometimes, exactly, Melmac, it is what it is, and that's what it was. I'm going live today for a couple reasons. Mainly because tomorrow I have to go to the dentist. And man, talk about screaming about injustices. Going to the dentist is an injustice. I hate that place with a passion. It takes a lot to get me to go to the dentist. But tomorrow I should be getting the bridge for my missing front tooth. So that means I can go on camera. Oh, I'm very excited about that. Not excited about the procedure. I mean, I've never had a bridge before. I don't know if it's going to hurt or not, but I'm terrified. And it's going to be very hard for my husband to drag me out the door and put me in the car and get me to there, but hopefully it'll work. But I don't know what I'm going to feel like after this. I'm not sure it's going to hurt, but I might not go live tomorrow night if my face is still all poofy from Novocaine. I don't know. It may be fine. I may walk out of there and be fine. So, but just in case, I wanted to make sure I touched base today. If I have to wait till Friday for the other live, we'll see. But there's a lot going on in my head, man. There's so much going on. The Lord Matthias thing. I want to sit here and tell you I'm good, I'm over it, it's fine. But because it's still happening, do you see? I can't do that. I can't just let go of it because it's still occurring to this day. Now, it's not directly occurring to me. I haven't gotten a cease and desist or anything, and you'll be the first to know if I do, believe me. And she's not directly attacking me anymore. But exactly, she will not go away, and she's still hurting Kresha. Ugh, you know? And Paisley, I'm not entirely sure I'm over the Lauren Mathian things from the early days because I had put it away, but I had put it in a nice tight little box, right? Locked it closed, shoved it in the back of the closet, covered with dust, hadn't looked at it in years. But the last couple weeks have brought it all back. I am reliving it, just me. I am, because I'm also learning a lot of new things that I didn't know were happening back then that I'm like, right. So of course it makes it all come back. And all the things I didn't deal with then, I have to deal with it now. So I'm dealing with it. And it's kind of good because for so many years, I couldn't even look at my own YouTube channel. I couldn't even open it because it would flip me out because I would be so upset over everything that I walked away from and everything I lost. And I never trawled a lot of the true crime channels just in case she would pop up or something. So I avoided so many things that were such a big part of my life because I wasn't dealing with what happened. Right. So I'm dealing with it now and I'm confronting it head on, all the anger, all the pain, all the heartache, all the shame, because I was so ashamed back then. Not because I had done anything wrong, but I was ashamed to show my face because anytime I did or pop up in chat, people would start yelling at me. So you put it away. You don't deal with it. You ignore it, avoid it, walk away. And that does work to an extent. I will tell you, it did work. I was able to avoid it. I was able to move on with life, and I had a great time. And then she pulled more crap. So here I am. But just me. A lot of people, I did over the years would get a comment like, "Awen, where are you? Are you coming back?" And it would, because I'd get a pop up notification, even though I wasn't looking at the channel, I'd still get the notification, and it would kind of grip my heart, like, "Oh, I really want to, but no, no." So yeah, I'm back. It'll be all right. But one thing that I'm noticing is I have been going around the YouTube algorithm. Man, that's going to mess with your head if you're trying to avoid something. Uh, every time I open YouTube now and I go to my, here's some videos you might like to watch thing. Every single time there is somebody going live talking about Lauren Matthias. I mean, there are so many channels talking about this, and YouTube has decided that that's all the content I really want to see. So that's all it's showing me in my feed. I'm like, dude, please. I spent years curating my algorithm so I would see all of my space and science videos and weather videos and learning stuff and crochet stuff and now it's just all Lauren Matthias everywhere. I'm like, all right, that's the universe telling me it's time to man up and deal with this crap. So yeah. So yeah, thanks to YouTube, I have been checking in on some of these channels, watching Lauren, because there's a lot. I mean, my issue with Lauren was a long time ago, and it's old news. But the new stuff is like, wow, like the videos that Christina took with her meta glasses, all the videos of their run-ins and this and that, the ones that Lauren took, and Lauren and Grayson, and it's like, whoa, and I can't stop watching it, because thankfully, way back when, I didn't actually have any physical run-ins with Lauren. We never went to the same places. She wasn't going to trials back then. I wasn't going to trials. We were just doing YouTube. So we didn't have all of that uh, real life interaction. Thank goodness, right? So I'm looking at this, trying to imagine what Christina is going through. And I'm like, geez, Louise, man, it's got to be awful. It's got to be awful. So my heart goes out to Christina. Um, And then I was thinking about DARVO, right? And that's what I really want to talk to you about today is DARVO. What is it? What does it mean? What does it look like? What are some examples of it? Because it happens in every kind of different situation. But what's happening in the Lauren Matthias case, in my opinion, allegedly, whatever, it's DARVO. It's Lauren Matthias denying the issue, attacking the victim, and reversing the victim and offender, making herself the victim. I don't think she is. All right, this is my personal opinion. Lauren, come at me. all right, this is my opinion. I think you're not the victim. I think in this, certainly in the current drama, I think Christina's the victim. Because can you show me a video where Lauren is sitting somewhere and Christina walks up to her and starts shit? No, you can't. But I've seen videos where Christina is somewhere and Lauren and her group walk up and start shit. What does that tell you? Who is the aggressor there? Right? So, yeah, let's talk about DARVO. What DARVO means, it's an acronym that means, oh, wait, I have a picture. Ah, ha, ha, look at me. Look at me being super pro. Look at that, guys. DARVO. I actually found this on Twitter. Somebody posted this. I don't know who posted it. I don't know who created it. Sorry if I'm using it. Let me know and I'll give you credit for it. DARVO. Deny, attack, reverse, victim, and offender. Okay, this happens so often with toxic people. So often. And what it says here, the perpetrator assumes the victim role and turns the true victim, or the whistleblower, into an alleged offender, an attacker, by trying to undermine their credibility through false accusations. Now, I am the poster child for Lauren Matthias enacting DARVO. Okay, this is exactly what she did to me, undermining my credibility through false accusations. Right? So she's been doing this a long time. Christina is not the first. Okay? She started this she's probably been doing it her whole life. The first instance I know of was when she did it to me. But who knows what she was doing before that, before she started her YouTube channel, before she got on the internet. She was probably doing this to everyone in her real life. Someone who does this doesn't just develop this overnight, right? So, you know, there are probably a whole lot more people that may get wind of it and start coming forward. But I'm going to give you an example of DARVO, separate from Lauren Matthias, because I think this might be a little bit more relatable. Let's take my narcissist ex. There's a whole podcast about this crazy guy and his garbage. But one thing that he always did was DARVO, all right, where he'd be off somewhere pretending to be at work, out roaming the streets during the day, and I would get suspicious because he gave me a lot of reasons to be suspicious, but that's a whole different story. But I would go look at, say, his emails and be like, oh, who is this girl? Ugh, right? So I'd find evidence in his emails that he was having at least an online affair type thing. I'd think, all right, great. Here we go again, because this happened a lot, okay? So he'd come home from his day allegedly at work, and I'd be like, all right, who is this Miss Priss in your emails? What are you doing now? Right? Because I've caught you having an affair. So I confront him with that. And what he would do would first thing, what? I don't know who that is. You're crazy. Are you making stuff up again? Right? Deny the behavior. Of course, I'm not having an affair. You're crazy. And then he would attack me, right? And say, why do you have to be so suspicious? How am I supposed to live if you can't trust me? Trust is the most important thing in our relationship. And you're going to be sneaking through my emails every time I leave the house. How am I supposed to be with you? Be like, okay. All right. And they can come up with some really good points that you're like, yeah, I guess it wouldn't be easy to live with someone who didn't trust you and was suspicious and snooping through. Yeah, that probably feels terrible. Right. And so you start to question yourself. Maybe that was wrong. Maybe I should trust him. Oh, I wouldn't want somebody snooping through my emails all day. Not that there's anything in there to find, but that's not the point. Hmm. Yeah, I should try. So you start to question yourself when they attack you for confronting them. And what they will do is your confrontation, the fact that you confronted them at all, that's where you're wrong. You're the bad person. Has nothing to do with what you're confronting them about. Okay. So he would confront me for snooping through his emails. Right. And then all of a sudden, he's the victim and I'm the offender because I have destroyed his life by not trusting him and he just can't live like that. And oh, everything's terrible. That is DARVO. All right. And you can have this at work. right? Same with your boss or a coworker. If you confront your coworker, hey, boss, I really actually did all those reports, but this coworker gave them to you and presented them as if they were his, and and then all of a sudden you're a snitch, you're a tattletale, you're just trying to get them in trouble. How can you do that? We're supposed to be a team. If you can't be a team player, you don't need to work here. On and on it goes, right? And all of a sudden, you're the offender and they're the victim. So, DARVO can happen in any kind of situation, in any kind of relationship, and it's very, very common. It's hard to always recognize it. Okay, it's hard to recognize it because when they go on the attack, first they deny, and you're like, "Oh wait, did I really get that right? Wait, maybe I'm wrong." A lot of people will stop and question, "Oh, did I make a mistake here?" And then they attack you for it, and then you're like, "Oh, maybe I shouldn't have done that." Right? So it's the crazy making thing where they twist everything around to where you start questioning your own brain and you start thinking, Am I crazy? Huh. All right. And it can be very, very effective. It can, like, vexatious, absolutely. It can be very destabilizing where suddenly you start to question everything that you're doing. Right. And this is how the narcissistic abusive relationships happen, because you get to a point where you don't even trust your own eyes. You don't trust anything that you're thinking, you know? Oh, and my ex is a right melt. Oh goodness. We're going to talk a lot about him as we get further into this series, but I have so many examples of this kind of stuff to talk about. He was a creep. Anyway, he's gone, so we don't have to worry about him. Um, so yeah, DARVO is something that happens. It can happen to all of us at any point in our day with any kind of relationship. It's really hard to recognize because anyone who even has a little bit of empathy for others will stop for a second and be like, "Oh, are they right? Huh." And just stopping and asking that question can throw you off balance. Right. And it is gaslighting. It absolutely is when they deny and reverse, or, you didn't see that. You just think you saw that. Maybe you dreamt it. Wait, what? No, no, I actually read the email. Look, and then he would delete it real quick. Look, it's not here. There's nothing here in my email from that person. You're just making it up. You're like, yeah. So they make you question everything you're thinking and seeing and reading, and you're just like, I don't know what to do with myself. You know, I was in that pattern for a long time with my ex. I didn't know what narcissism was. I didn't know what any of this was. It was all brand new to me, and it took me many years to figure out what was happening because I fell into this DARVO trap, and I thought I am just this overbearing, untrusting, person who is making his life miserable. How could I do that to him? you know, yeah. Hmm. Oh, goodness. Hey, feeding it. The dreaded, I know you think. Yeah, I know you think I did that, but you're really just reading it wrong. That's not what it means. Da da da. Yeah. So it can happen at work, it can happen in your romantic relationships, and it can happen on the internet like we're seeing right now. And one of the hallmarks uh, of these relationships that I've been screaming this for a couple of days now, but part of my issue is that I don't know if a lot of people are really getting it. And I don't mean like you guys or people that are watching the drama unfold with eyes wide open. A lot of the people with their eyes wide shut are not understanding one of the hallmarks of this, and that is every accusation is a confession. Okay? That's it. If you're accusing someone, like all of the things that Lauren Matthias ever accused me of are things that I have just learned over the last 2 weeks that she herself was doing. She was angling to get close to Lori Vallow while she was in prison. She wanted an interview. She was lying to the family. She was exploiting the family. She was doing everything that she accused me of doing. I wasn't doing them, right? But I fell into that DARVO trap where, oh, am I really doing something wrong? I don't think so. What is she talking about? So it's a trap that we have got to be very aware of and very mindful of and kind of stop. We got to stop it. That's what I don't know. Edmund Trant says web sleuth said someone accused them of posting autopsy photos. Not sure. I don't know. I don't mess with Trisha. I've never messed with Trisha over at Web Sleuths. I've never messed with Web Sleuths. I don't want to. I don't like it. And there are some corners of the internet that I will not touch because of the toxicity I have seen with other people. And one of them is Web Sleuth. So Trisha, come at me if you want, but I'm not playing with you. Stay in your sandbox. I'll leave you alone. You leave me alone. I don't know what's going on with the autopsy photos. Not my thing. Put that on a post-it. So I say every accusation is a confession. Yeah. And it's so true. It is so true. Like my ex would accuse me of stealing money out of his bank account. You must have taken one of the checks out of my checkbook because there's $200 missing. I'm like, what? What are you talking? Why would I do that? Right. In the meantime, he's got my bank card and he's draining my bank account. Right. So it's like they do that to throw you off your own game because it works. It's effective. We have to make it not effective for us anymore. So, yeah. Didn't take you as long to figure out Lauren Matthias as a Digit X. Vexation, that is true. That is true. And that was something that I actually put it in my notes to talk about today. Again, on Twitter. Twitter said something about, recovering from these types of toxic relationships is, you feel like you make 2 steps forward, 1 step back. But now, in that kind of situation, I can get triggered but bounce back from it in 20 minutes as opposed to 20 years. It's like, yeah, okay, I can see it faster and bounce back a lot faster. 4 years ago when this happened, it took me 6 months to like be able to get up and get out of bed and take a shower and get dressed and have a normal life. Right? I was really traumatized by all this because I couldn't believe the vitriol and the hatred of the mob that she whipped up. I was absolutely gobsmacked by how vicious people got based on something somebody was making up. My brain could not handle that. I couldn't process it. I couldn't handle it. I didn't know how to deal with it. But now it's like, oh, Lauren did what? Oh, yeah, for crying out loud. I'll get mad for a day and then be like, okay, next day I'll just deal with it. All right. So yeah, it is progress. It's progress. It takes time. It really takes time. The DARVO stuff can be it can twist your own brain around to the point where you just don't know what to do. Kresh and I talked about this a little bit in the live stream we did on Monday. And this is something that hopefully Kresh and I will sit down and have much longer talks about, where she expressed that she's having, it's hard for her to keep on her train of thought. It's hard because she'll plan to talk about something and then she goes off on a tangent, and it's hard to bring herself back because there's so much happening in her brain right now. And I mentioned to her that it's a cognitive dissonance issue when reality and what's being presented to you are so in opposition that you just can't make any sense of it and you get spun around. Right? Like you're literally on a merry-go-round and you just don't know how to get off it or make it stop for a minute. And I saw a tweet today, and I put this up here. This got me because Crush was like, I'm just tired, man. And I'm like, yeah. And this says, when someone recovering from trauma says, I'm tired, it means my story has been denied. I can't keep defending myself and try to heal. It means I'm going as fast as I can, and my mind and body aren't working together the way I'd like. I hope you find rest without apology. That's what Kresha was saying. She's tired. And that's what it feels like. Certainly, now her story isn't being denied as such because she's got a lot of people following her now and listening to her and understanding what she's going through. That wasn't always the case. That's kind of a new thing. I'm so happy that she's got that. But still, Lauren isn't out here apologizing to her. Laura isn't Lauren isn't taking accountability for what she's done to her, and she's still going at her, right? She's still striking her stuff and just being a petty bitch, right? That's not for Kresha, that's not her story being accepted. That's it still being denied. It's still being fought against. She's still trying to be silenced, you know? And that takes so much energy when you have to keep defending yourself over and over and over and keep trying to explain and trying to get people to understand. It's tiring. It's absolutely exhausting. And that's why I walked away from it, because the wave coming at me was so big from Lauren whipping people into a frenzy. I'm like, I can't sit here. All I would do 12 hours a day. I could do 12-hour a day live streams defending myself over, and these people wouldn't hear me. They wouldn't believe it. They wanted to believe the other stuff. I was like, yeah, I can't. And I tapped out. I'm out for a lot of reasons, but that was one of them. Kresha is coming into her own fully now, and I'm so excited for her. I really hope she gets to go on Turtle Boy, because that is a huge platform for her voice, right? But I get why she's so exhausted. She's absolutely exhausted from this, because you think you figure it out, and then someone sends you an email with something you didn't even know about. You're like, oh man, here it goes. Here it goes. Here we go again. So it's a never-ending merry-go-round. Feels like that. It will end at some point, but for now, she's tired. I'm tired. My whole live stream for the other night was supposed to be about my healing tools. I have an arsenal of tools that I have developed through my own brain, through therapy, through research, that helps keep me focused on the positive and moving forward. And I wanted to talk about that. But no, someone threw a monkey wrench in my plans and said, "Ooh, Lauren did this too. Bet you didn't know that." Right? So back on the merry-go-round and jump. And you never feel like you can just step off it. You can step off it. You really can. I did it before, but you have to give up so much to do this. And this is why, when I've said in the past, and certainly in all the narcissist podcasts, the only way to win with a narcissist is not to play. And that is very true. I will stand by that to the death. The only way to win with them is not to play. But the cost that comes with that is oftentimes too much to pay. All right. And that's why it's a cute little catchphrase and it works really well. But when you have to put it into action, you don't realize the cost of it. It will cost you friendships. It may cost your job. It may cost where you live. You may have to move. And the cost of it is immense. Yes, you will be victorious in the end because you will have walked away from it and start over. But you have to walk away and start over. And that's a big price to pay. And sometimes you have to sit here and decide, is my inner peace and mental health worth that cost? All right. For me, way back then, it was worth that cost. But right now, no, right now my mental health is fine. This is not really affecting me. I'm angry and whatever, but this is not costing anything now other than some irritation. I think the good that I can do right now by coming forward and speaking and getting back to what I wanted to do is worth it. Yeah, she's going to be like a little gnat that I have to swat away here and there, but she has no power over me. She can't take anything from me. She can't do anything to me. So, all right, it is my turn now to step up. And wait, let me get some questions in chat. Is Kresha on Turtle Boy's radio? Yes, Kresha and Turtle Boy have communicated. And I do believe at some point, hopefully this week, she will be on his live stream. And I will let you know. I'll make sure I'll do a community post with a link and times so we can all be there to support her and cheer her on from chat, and let Turtle Boy know that we're thankful that he had her on, because we had the whole Turtle Boy debate. I know people don't like him. Whatever. I get it. I wasn't really following him. I mean, I followed his tweets and the story during the Karen Read, but I didn't really watch his live streams, mainly because of the language. I don't like that kind of language. That's just me, right? Everybody's free to use whatever language you want. But when he started covering Lauren's 9-hour live, I watched the first episode and I'm like, oh, this is gonna be bad. But it made me laugh so hard there were tears streaming down my face. Whenever he put those first eyebrows on, and that was such a release for me. It was such a release of years of pent-up stress and frustration and fear. And I can't thank him enough for that. I can't. I owe Turtle Boy quite a lot because his watching his live stream did something in my head. It clicked something in my head, and I was like, I am ready to go. Let's do it. So yeah, I do. I believe in Turtle Boy. I believe in his message. Yeah, there's my daughter. Yeah, I'm live. Hi. Uh, my daughter came to say hi to me. So yeah, I believe in his message, his First Amendment. But sometimes the First Amendment is a tricky thing because we don't want people to say all kinds of nasty things. But you know what? I may not agree with what you're saying, but I agree with your right to say it. Yeah. So, yeah. Yeah, I spit out soda all over my desk because I was crocheting and just listening. And I didn't know he had drawn the eyebrows on because he didn't in the first half of the stream. And when I looked up and saw them, I lost it. Absolutely lost it. Spit out my soda, dropped my crochet. I can't believe it because he didn't say, "Hey, I'm drawing eyebrows on." No, you just look up and they're there. That just made me. It was just great. It was great. And I'm not here to debate the Karen Read case and trans at all. I know people are on both sides of it. Whatever. I tried to stay very middle of the road with my own thoughts on it, and I didn't cover it, so we don't need to talk about Karen Read. It's not about that. But yeah, it's okay. Let me scroll up because there's some comments I'm missing. And then there's something. Remind me to talk about the gambler if I forget. Nikki said, "It brings tears to my eyes when I think of all of us praying for those two beautiful children and found." So, yeah, yeah, it was heartbreaking. The whole case was truly devastating, and even watching it unfold and covering it and all that, I would cry quite a lot about that case. But imagine we cannot imagine what it was actually like for the family. And that's why I say family is always off limits. They're off limits. Leave them alone. If you're talking to them, fine, but you don't put them all over the internet. You don't expose them to all that kind of stuff. You don't exploit them for clicks and money and views. Oh, that, I cannot with that. He says, Eamon, I'm not in your shoes, but I believe people here want to right the wrongs we see. Yeah, we do. And I think there's a lot of wrongs going on right now, and they need to be righted. I don't want to see another family get used like the way she used the Woodcocks and Crescia and them. I don't want to see that ever happen again. And the fact that she's still doing it, she just had Colby on right before her 9-hour live. She's still doing it. Right? That's why I came out of hiding. That's why I came back to YouTube. That's why I got back in touch with Crescia, because she is still going after the family of those victims. And she doesn't get it. All right. Now, this is part of the problem, is that she truly doesn't get it. I'm going to put the DARVO thing back on the screen while I'm talking about this. She doesn't understand how much pain she has caused. She can't fathom it. She cannot. She can't empathize with another person's feelings. Right? She's one of those people who cannot truly understand what another person is feeling. And she's learned. All right, people. All right, here we go. I'm not diagnosing her as a narcissist. However, she clearly displays narcissistic-like behaviors. Those are obvious, okay? You don't need a diagnosis to that. Everyone has a little bit of narcissism in our psychology. That's just part of being a human, right? And her behavior is, yeah, it's a real thing. You can see it. Oh, it's okay, Entranced. I wasn't upset. I just wanted to let you know that I do have a lot of thoughts on Karen Reed. Maybe someday we'll do a live about it, but just, yeah. I avoided talking about that while it was happening because being middle of the road and not saying she's guilty or not guilty, that's when both sides would attack you, right? The guilters and the not guilters would both attack you because you wouldn't be on their side or the other side. Oh, God, that was a mess. Anyway, uh, what was I talking about? I was talking about something. Uh, oh, the family. Yeah. She cannot empathize. Someone who exhibits narcissistic traits, right? They lack the ability to empathize with others. Okay? Meaning, um, let's take, remember September 11th, all those years ago. I was on the phone with my ex that morning, and we're just chit-chatting away because he had I had thrown him out, or he had left me, whatever. He was down in Florida and I was up in Connecticut, but we were getting back together, so we're talking on the phone. And I look over the TV and I see one of the World Trade Center buildings on fire, and I'm like, "Oh my goodness." And he's like, "What?" I was like, "The World Trade Center building's on fire. What happened?" And I'm trying to watch the news to see what happened, and then I see the other building get hit by the plane live on camera, right? And I drop the phone and I'm like, what? Right? So I am in shock. Now, I'm from New England. I'm from Connecticut. I spent a lot of time in New York City going to musicals and shows and all that stuff. I was a performing arts major. Um, so I was in New York City a lot. I'd been in the towers. I'd been in the restaurant up in the top floors, and you know, I knew it. I was not personally connected. I didn't have someone I knew inside those buildings at the time, but I had enough of a personal awareness of them to be very shocked by what was happening. Even if you didn't ever be go to the buildings, you watching it live, who wouldn't have been shocked by that, right? So I was watching it and I'm stunned and I'm like, oh my God. And I start crying, right? Because there's people in those buildings that are now dying or dead. And then watching the buildings collapse was that was too much. That put me over the edge, right? So of course I'm having a very emotional reaction to this. And he's like, what are you even talking about? You don't even go there. Who cares? And I'm like, what did you just say to me? Right? He was angry with me that I was getting all emotional upset about something happening on TV instead of focusing my conversation on him and what he wanted to talk about. It is sick. And that's what people without empathy do, right? My ex was diagnosed a narcissist. He could not empathize with me in that moment of why I'm just watching something, an act of terrorism on live TV, why I would be reacting to that. Because not like I was there. Why should I care? Like, what? What? Um, so that is how powerfully these people avoid, well, not even avoid, they don't understand empathy. They don't know how to do it, but they fake it really well. And how they do that is by consuming or watching or learning from other people, right? Like, uh, he would watch movies all the time. And sometimes we'd have fights where he'd just start spouting lines from a movie. And I'm like, what are you doing? And it clicked that he has no frame of reference for what's happening other than he saw something kind of like this in a movie once, and that's what they said, and that worked. So I'm going to try that, right? They learn how to act with empathy from watching others, or watching media, or reading books, or whatever they do. They learn expected behaviors. So I know, oh, if somebody falls down and scrapes their knee, instead of laughing, I should say, "Oh, are you okay?" Right? They learn that as that's an expected behavior in something like that. All right. They have to, right. It's almost like they're feeding a computer program in their brain. When this happens, say that. When this happens, act like that. Or when this go, oh, they're there, dear. Right. But it's not real. It's not real. And you can see that in their behavior because they do things that are to the rest of us completely outrageous. Last night on Hella's channel, Excited Utterance, I think that's the name of the channel. I was popped in over there to see what was going on, and they were playing some videos of Lord Matthias outside of the courtroom for one of Lori's trials. I think it was Lori's trial. But she was outside the courtroom. Larry was outside sitting on a bench, absolutely devastated. Just looking at him, looking at Larry made your heart hurt. All right. And he was sitting there being really just overwhelmed with what was happening in the courtroom. And Lauren Matthias was just like, well, okay, yeah, I'm done with him. You can talk to him now. Like giving somebody else permission to talk to. She didn't turn off the camera and go sit next to him and put her arm around him. Are you okay, Larry? Can I get you a water? Can I get you a drink? She didn't do anything like that. She was filming and making content based on the trauma that Larry was clearly feeling. Right. She wasn't just cold to him. She could not empathize with his feelings at all. She doesn't have that ability. So all she was doing was, oh, this is good content. Look how upset my victim is. Remember, she called them my victims. She thought they were not her, as in she had victimized them, but she owned this pool of victims to exploit. Right. So from her perspective, this is good content. Let people see, oh, how upset he is. Oh, dramatic content. And she's standing there on camera and she's filming him. And that's all she's thinking about. Exactly. All she thinks about is her content. Right. But yet she's proclaiming to love them so much. I love this family. My son calls him Papa. Isn't that sweet? These are my victims. Oh, I love them. No, she doesn't. She loves using them for content because she can't evoke enough empathy from people because she doesn't have any at all. But she can use them to, and she did. But watching her do that to Larry outside the courtroom, I was like, if you had even one tiny milliliter of empathy in your bloodstream, you would have turned off your camera and gone over to him and given him a hug, or at least saying, hey, can I get you anything? What can I do for you? Right? That's what any normal person would do. You see somebody grieving and having trauma, you don't film them for your YouTube channel, especially if it's somebody that you say you care about and you profess love for. You go do something loving. You don't exploit him for more clicks. That that sums up Lauren Matthias just in that 30-second clip that I saw last night. That sums her up 100%. 100%. She didn't stop for a minute to think what she was doing to me. She didn't stop for a second to say, oh, maybe it's really mean to do this to anyone. Nah, I got to get rid of her. She's in my way. Poof. Right? But yet she'll go on duty, Ron, and is crying about, oh, somebody's going to release my text. That's so invasive. That's so abusive and harmful. Oh, yeah, well, you blackmailed me with the same thing and you thought it was fun then. I mean, it's not fun when someone does it to you. Oh, I see how it is. I see how it is. Jeez. Allegedly, my opinion, whatever. Put all those covering words in there. But yeah. So that's how people like Lauren weaponize their lack of empathy, right? They cannot understand how their own actions hurt somebody else. All they see is when they don't like what somebody else is doing to them, even though they just did that exact same thing to somebody else. That was fine. Not fine, makes me crazy. A different kind of crazy. The character of a man is shown by how he treats someone who can do nothing for him. I think that's how it goes. Yeah, that is very true. Absolutely true. Yeah, Joel Roberts says, if you look off to Larry's left, a man puts his arm around Larry to listen and provide comfort. Lauren could have sat, yeah, there was a big space right next to Larry on the other side. She could have walked over and put an arm around him, but she didn't. She did not. Well, if it is, Melmac, if the copyright BS is being done by Lauren's attorneys, it's at her direction. So, but what I don't understand is why her attorneys aren't saying, quit it. Quit it. You're making it worse. You're making it worse. So, excuse me, I have to cough. Ooh, where's my mic button? 1 second. Okay, sorry. Um, Part of the whole DARVO thing, I'm trying to get back to that, is Lauren believes in some way that what she's doing is working. Right now, anyone with logic and common sense can see it's not working. She's lost thousands and thousands of subs. The entire internet is talking about her all day in a negative way, right? In the last couple of videos, I haven't had a single person leave a comment defending Lauren. So the flying monkeys decided to leave me alone, which is good, because maybe I called them out enough and they were like, we're just going to go away. So her support is dwindling faster and faster every day. She sees that, but she thinks it's because all of us mean YouTube creators are just saying terrible things about her. And that's why people, oh, yeah? Well, you did it to me. Suck it. I don't feel sorry for her because she has done that to so many other people. She did it to me. She did it to Christina. She did something to Gigi. I don't know what happened there yet. Hopefully I'll find out someday. But she's been doing this all the time to everyone else. And suddenly when it's happening to her, she can't stand it and she's going to start throwing lawfare out at everybody. No. No, 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 no. Mm-mm. You don't get to have that both ways. I'm sorry. You don't. If you hear rumbling noise in the background, that's the jets, again, from the Air Force Base. Unfortunately, I can't stop it, and it usually makes the windows rattle, but hopefully the mic will pick it up. We'll see. Yeah, karma. Laura, she only wants privacy for herself and has no discretion. Absolutely. Using her son when the grandparents lost JJ, it is vile. Kelly Lou, I really almost vomited after I saw that video of her saying her son was calling Larry Papa and how close they are. It's like, oh, no, 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 no. So Lauren has used her son to further her goals several times. She did it with the Woodcocks. She's done it in her 9-hour live stream, saying that this is so vile and terrible because my son is upset. He's not eating right. And I'm like, wait, whoa, back it up. Back it up. Why does your son know about this anyway? He's 8. He's 8 years old. Does he watch TikTok? I mean, how does he know this is happening? Oh, well, he overheard us talk. Well, he shouldn't have overheard it. You should not have said it where he could have heard you. Okay? Assuming that happened, which I have doubts about. But maybe you should get off the dang 9-hour live and go take care of him. Oh, but wait, you're not even home. You're at some hotel somewhere. Maybe you should go home and take care of your son. Right? So if her son is aware of Lauren's imaginary stalker, then shame on her for making him aware of it. Right? Shame on her. However, I don't really think that's true. I don't think that her son actually knows. That's my personal opinion. My opinion is that's not true. But if it's not true, then she's still using her son to promote her drama crap by lying and saying he's really upset. So either way, Lauren, you are a shit parent and you got some work to do. Because, man, if he knows about it, you are wrong for letting him know and letting him worry and not tending to him, traveling around the country doing it when your son is home, worried that you're going to get killed. Really? Go take care about your son, right? However, if you're just making that up and you're using that to manipulate people, you're still horrible. You're still a horrible parent. So either way on that, that's crazy. Don't bring your kids into. She brought her son into it. Someone yelled at me once for talking about her son. I'm like, I didn't bring her son into it. She did. And she's using him to get sympathy from you. Think about that before you come at me. Okay? So, yeah. Oh, goodness. If an 8-year-old is that concerned about stuff he barely understands, it's because she scared him with it. Yeah. If it's true and he's that upset, then that's her fault. That is not Christina's fault. Christina didn't call up her son and say, "Ooh, scary, I'm going to get your mommy." No, Lauren did that. Okay, so yeah, that's a problem. And John, allegedly being this great forensic psychologist thing, you're letting that happen to your son in front of your face? What is wrong with you? What kind of psychologist are you? Because, yeesh, that's not cool. So, yeah, they're using their child as a weapon in order to gain a family's trust and to gain sympathy from their viewers. Uncool. Uncool as shit. So, yeah, there's that. All right. Getting back to what I wanted to talk about, the DARVO thing. I was thinking this morning, I was reading something. I forget exactly what I was reading uh, on Twitter, and it made me think of uh, the song "The Gambler." Right? You got to know when to hold 'em, know when to fold 'em, know when to walk away, and know when to run. And I was like, huh. Imagine taking that song and instead of it being about a poker game, make it about dealing with narcissists. Right? You have to know when to keep your cards close to the vest, which is always never tell them anything, right? Because Lauren and I were in communication, you know, a little bit directly, mostly through others. She had a lot of information that she could use against me to twist it just the wrong way and use it against you. That's what anyone like that will do. Okay. You can tell them the most wonderful, joyous story of your life, and they will find a way to twist it around and use it against you as a weapon. Right? My ex did that with everything. He knew that one of my phobias was fire. So he would threaten to light the curtains on fire if he was mad at me to scare the shit out of me. Right? Exactly. Don't tell them good things. You give them nothing. Even the good things like your most happiest moment or whatever, they will use it against you. So that's when you hold them. You know when to hold them. Keep your cards close to the vest and don't tell them anything. Right? If you feel like you have to tell them something, make it up. Tell them stuff that's not real. Because then when they use it against you, it will have no power over you. Okay? Uh, you have to know when to fold them, when to put your cards down on the table. Now, folding in poker is a little different. You don't reveal your cards, you're putting them down on the table. But you also have to know when to play your cards, right? Because for me, now, after that 9-hour live, it's like, you know what? I've been holding on to some cards for a couple of years. Now it's time to play them. Right? So I decided to come out and play my cards. That's what I'm doing. But you also have to know when to walk away, which was 4 years ago. For me, the right thing at that time was to walk away, right? And just sit in silence, watch everything happen, trusting that in time the truth will come out, right? And just trying to forget about it. And you also have to know when to run because these people can be dangerous. And there are times when you have to run the other way quickly. Right. So now that just this morning, that whole song took on a whole new life for me. So I've been listening to it a couple times, like, yep, know when to walk away, know when to run. Yep. And don't count your money when you're sitting at the table. Wait, because the time for counting will come later. So that's what's happening now for me. That whole song is just played out. I walked away and ran 4 years ago, held my cards close to the vest. Now it's time for me to come out and play my cards, and it's time to count the money. Let's go. Right? So that's a good song if you view it from that point of view. I've never thought of that song that way. Whole new world just opened. It's kind of fun. But yeah, you just got to do that. You got to do it sometimes. So I'm closing windows. Uh, let's see. Rhombohedral, hello, says John evaluates prisoners in an authoritative position of power. He does not help clients with psychological issues with empathy and understanding. He serves out psychological verdicts. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. If you're interviewing people in the legal system who are maybe up for parole or whatever, all you're doing is providing a report on what you think they're going through. right? You're not there to help them at all. You're there to provide a statement to the court or law enforcement about where they're at mentally. Right. Now, he says on one of his websites, he lists himself as a clinical psychologist, which would be helping people, but I don't, listening to him, I don't see a lot of evidence of that. You don't go on YouTube to defend your wife after a 9-hour crazy live stream and start calling everybody else crazy. That's not normal. Maybe that's just me. That's not really normal. It's also very highly unethical. So, yeah. um, take everything in and give nothing out. Always keep your face and eyes. Yes, that's the other thing I want to talk about. Thank you, Anarch. Gray rock. Right? If you listened to me years ago on Toxic Bliss, I talked about gray rock. Right? I even have a T-shirt, gray rock T-shirt, which I need to dig out of the closet and maybe wear that for one of my live streams. Gray rock is one of the best things you can do to protect yourself. Right? When you know someone is a toxic person like this, right? When that has become clear in your mind, okay, this person is using every dirty trick in the book, gaslighting, DARVO, you name it. They're doing all this stuff. How do I deal with interactions if you have to interact? And that's where gray rock comes in. Now, a lot of people in the healing world of narcissism and stuff use the term gray rock very lightly. Say, oh, just don't show them emotion. Just don't get riled up. It's far more than that. It's far more than just appearing neutral. You need to appear stone ass cold, right? And you can be sitting across from them at a table, and they will, right? If you find yourself in that position, throw the most hurtful things you have ever imagined at you, and things you have never even imagined, right? To get a reaction out of you. You have to sit there and not flinch. You don't let your face go, oh, right? You don't show shock, upset, anything. You don't let your eyebrows, you don't even breathe. You just sit there, ice cold, and be like, oh, okay, all right, okay. Mhm. You're not moving. Your face is a photograph. You're not blinking. Your eyebrows aren't moving. You are completely unreacting. Now, underneath it all, your heart may be beating out of your chest, and your palms may start sweating, and you're trying really hard not to twitch. That's gray rock. You don't give them anything at all until that interaction is over. You can go away and process it somewhere away from them and then deal with whatever just happened. It's very, very hard. This is something that comes up quite often in divorce cases, right? Where you have to co-parent with your ex, and your ex is a narcissist, but you have to sit down and have to have meetings about school and who's going to buy the clothes and all whatever. You have to co-parent. You have to deal with your ex. Especially when it comes to co-parenting, that is so hard because you don't want them influencing your children. It's monstrously hard, and you have to gray rock them because they will try to get you to react. Now, this is what we call reactive abuse. I'm sorry. A lot of narcissists and toxic people will use something called reactive abuse, and this ties in with DARVO. They will push you and push all of your buttons and get in there with that knife and twist that knife in your back to get you to react, to get you to finally flip your shit and start jumping up and down and screaming or whatever. They will push you and push you and push you until you give them that reaction, and then they use that against you. That's reactive abuse. Oh, look how crazy they are. They might call the police. She tried to hit me. She's terrible, right? Without telling them that they have pushed you to the point of doing that would break anybody. That's reactive abuse. And that's something that I think we're seeing here in the Lauren Matthias case, because let's look at what she said about Christina. Christina used to work for her, right? One of her contract employees. I hate how she calls them that. But Christina was friendly with Lauren, was doing work for Lauren. Right. And then from Lauren's point of view, oh, well, I had to let her go, and then now she's doing all this terrible mean shit to me. She made TikToks telling me mean. The horror, right? Lauren didn't tell us what happened between her and Christina. Why does Christina no longer work for you? Why is Christina actually angry with you? You don't mention that, Lauren. That's kind of important because I'd be willing to bet that allegedly, in my opinion, Christina has one hell of a good reason to be pissed at Lauren Matthias. She just hasn't come out and said so yet. Right? And that's quite fine if she doesn't want to talk about it. She maybe have some pending legal stuff going on. She certainly has the basis for a defamation lawsuit, being called a stalker 10,000 times, you know. So Christina could be playing it close to the vest, which is a smart thing to do. But, you know, what happened there? What happened between Lauren and Christina that caused this to happen? Something did. Christina didn't just wake up one morning and be like, oh, I hate her. I'm going to make mean TikToks about her. Ha ha ha. No, something happened to cause that. What did Lauren do to Christina? Because Lauren's all about selling her story about what Christina's doing to her, but she hasn't said what she did to Christina to precipitate that. And that's what her followers aren't asking her. And that's what they should be asking her. Right? Like Lauren, well, what did you do to Christina? What? I did nothing. Oh, no, you did something. Because people don't get mad for nothing. Right? What did you do to Christina? Right? And someday, possibly, we'll get the story from Christina. And I would believe Christina over Lauren Matthias any day of the week. Right? But that's what I'm saying. What did Lauren do? Is this reactive abuse? She pushed Christina and pushed her so far that Christina lost it, walked away, made some mean breakup TikToks. And now Lauren's saying, see, she's crazy. She's stalking. You see what she did? It's like, well, wait, no. There's a whole nother piece to this that you're not telling us. So, there's the text messages thing. Lauren is, I'm going to say it, allegedly, in my opinion, Lauren is very two-faced. She'll say something to you on her live stream. She'll say something to victims' family members and stuff in their presence, and then turn around and shit talk them behind their back. Okay? She does that. We know that. Okay? We know that. We've seen some texts, like what she said about Kresha. And we know she said some things about Kay. Right? I am sure that there are a lot of text messages. I have some, right, where we had a phone call one day about some shit she did, but we had a group chat going about it. I've got them, right? I don't feel the need to put them out in public because I don't think that's right, but if I got called on it, if she ever said, Eamon's lying, that didn't happen, yeah, I'd put them up on a video. I'm like, all right, here. You know, but and that was 5 years ago. So in the last 5 years, you're saying she hasn't accumulated a whole world of trash talking text messages with people that everyone's got on their phones? Like, oh, I really think we should all get together. Everyone who has been harmed by Lauren, let's all get together. Let's do a live stream. Let's put it all out there. All of it, you know? I'm not opposed to doing that if that situation arose. But I think the situation with Christina is that Christina has tons of this information, tons of it, about how she trash talked whoever, right? Because Lauren, I know personally that Lauren will trash talk people behind their backs while selling them on her YouTube channel. Right? And if I know that, and I only interacted with this woman for a very short period of time, very, very short. So people who have worked with her, literally worked for her, and spent years with her, the pile of dirt they've got. Yeah, feeding it. That would be a pay-per-view worthy fundraiser. That would be. We could raise a lot of money for victims of something, right? A really worthy charity and raise money. That would be amazing. Huh. All right, now you put an idea in my head. I have to think about that. But Lauren's whole entire 9-hour live stream was to get ahead of those conversations, maybe going public. Maybe going public. Right. And what sorry, I lost my train. I saw the Welsh in there. Hi, Kelly. And I was like, oh, brain processing Welsh. No, I got distracted. Sorry. Prynanda. I'll say that. Prynanda, Kelly. Good to see you here. All right, so yeah, Lauren, her 9-hour live stream was to get ahead of the fact that these might come out first. And again, this is classic DARVO. It's preemptive DARVO. Meaning, I'm going to tell you that this Christina person is not normal. She's crazy. She's mean. She's a stalker. She's all these terrible, terrible things. So she's painting Christina as this terrible person with the belief that at some point Christina's going to put these texts out. So then she can go back and Darvo it by saying, see, I told you how crazy she was. See, look at her. She's being mean to me, right? That's all the 9-hour was for, was to preempt somebody coming out with things that make Lauren look bad. So she could say they were crazy. I told you they were crazy. I did a whole 9-hour live stream explaining how crazy she was. And now you're going to believe her? Well, you're crazy too. Then we get John to come in and tell us we're crazy for believing Christina, right? And remember, if you watched the 9-hour, I think she took it down, but it's up somewhere. She says, I'm not going to name my stalker. I'm not going to tell you her name. So the other day, Christina my stalker, oops. And she says in the video, literally, I'll have to edit that out later. Because she dropped Christina's name. She didn't edit it out. She didn't do that by accident. Don't be fooled for a second. Hold on. I have to cough and I need a drink. 1 sec. Oh, I have a tickle in my throat today. It's driving me crazy. You get that tiny, tiny little pinprick down in your trachea. It won't go away. It may need to raise money for Kresha. Absolutely. Oh, 100%. I would take care of Kresha. If she wants to pursue this legally, she's just got to say the word, and I'll see what I can do. I made a joke the other night. I'm sorry. Can I get this tickle gone? I made a joke the other night that wouldn't it be funny if I called up Mark Means and said, hey, you want a case? Can you imagine? Oh, that would tickle me silly to see Mark Means file a case against Lauren. That'd be great. Yeah, that could be a fundraiser. But yeah, if he looks insecure and sounds like, yeah, he is. John, I don't know what to make of John because he's so angry. He's a very angry man. You can see that. He also is, I know what word salad is. Word salad is something people use when they're trying to avoid actually answering a question or just trying to make themselves look smart. They just babble all kinds of words that aren't really coherent. They don't make a lot of sense. Their 3-hour response video that John was telling us how we're all crazy because we don't support Lauren, that is word salad. It was all psychobabble word salad. I could not believe it. Oh, the 9 hours is still up. Okay. 440,000 views. Goodness. And she's probably like, you look how much money I made off that. It's like, yeah, you may have made some money, but oof, you are not being received well. I don't get that. I don't get it. But yeah, I wanted to talk about Darvo today because that's, in my opinion, allegedly 100% what she is doing with the Christina issue. Hey, Greers, I'm happy to see you again. How you doing? I've seen you all over. You and I were following like all the same channels this weekend. It was so funny. The last couple days, not this weekend. It's actually the middle of the week. Hmm. Encourage Crusher to put Venmo on her channel. Uh, that you'll have to talk to Crush about that. I am not in a place of trying to influence anything Crush is doing or thinking right now because I think that's the last thing she needs. Even if it's like, hey, let's do this to raise some money. No, I don't even want to influence her positively. You know what I mean? It's like Kresha has been so manipulated and marginalized and silenced for so long that now she's really blossoming out of that. I certainly don't want to influence anything. I'm here whenever all she got to do is pick up a phone, and whatever she needs, I'm there. She knows that. Um, and that's good. So if she wants to talk about anything like that, she's got me, and she knows she's one of the few people in the world allowed to make my phone ring at 2 o'clock in the morning, and I would answer it and not scream at her. There are very few people who could get away with that. Crush is one of them. So yeah, I'm not going to try and push her towards or away from anything. I'm just going to be here holding her hand as she goes on her path. It's really important that she is finding her path on her own and making it her own. And she is wise. She's a smart cookie. She is watching everything and she's putting it together. So I don't think she's going to fall into traps like this again. So that's awesome. That's awesome. Yeah, I do think a lot of Gresha. Absolutely. So, and that's why I did that live the other night, because I was going to just ignore the Lauren stuff and just focus on my happy little healing thing. But I was like, nah, no, she's going after Crush again. I will jump up and jump in the middle of that and be like, hey, over here, over here. It's like bullfighting, right? Like I see the bull charging towards Kresha. I'm grabbing that red cape and jumping in front of her like, hey, come at me, bro. Let's go. That's just how I feel. And I like doing that now because I don't have anything to fear, right? I don't have anything to lose that Lauren could take from me. What is she going to take? My YouTube channel? For crying out loud, it's been dead for 3 years. What are you going to do? Come on, man. So she has no power over me. There's nothing secret that I'm hiding that she could reveal that I have to worry about, because there's nothing. There's nothing. Yeah, she can make up more shit. I don't care. So the fact that I don't care gives me a power that I never had before, and it's amazing. I am also appalled at how Crusher and Kay and Larry and Colby were all treated. You know, that freedom is a great feeling, Amy Lynn. It is. I'm still processing it because it shocked me when I realized that, and it was only like a week ago. This is all still really new. It was only about a week ago that I realized, hey, wait a minute. She really has no power over me. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. I'm not afraid at all. And that was shocking. It was a shocking moment. A very good one. A good, amazing, shocking moment. And that's what I hope our whole community can start to feel as we get through this, because there's a lot of people who are very upset that they have been supporting Lauren all this time and now feel like they have been betrayed and hoodwinked and lied to and manipulated and exploited. How much money do her diehard supporters give her? You know what I mean? They got to feel pretty crappy right now. And I want them to know that they're not crazy. It's okay to feel like that. And come take my hand. Let's get through this together so you can come out the other side and feel this amazing feeling, because it's great. It was the eyebrows, Amy Lynn. Yeah, it was 100% the eyebrows. Oh, I just remember that I remembered how to put comments on the screen. Oh, I should have been doing that this whole time. Some next live stream, remind me, hey, when you can put comments on the screen, don't forget. I will try that. The flying monkeys are real. And Jessica, let's hit on that before we go. The flying monkeys. My very first video that I made, the message to Lauren Matthias, that's got 22,000 views on it, right? That alone is mind blowing. But apparently back then Everybody wanted to hear everything about Lauren. 22,000 views on a video after not making videos for 5 years. That's kind of a big deal. I thought that was cool. But there were a lot of flying monkeys coming at me in the comments to that video. A lot of them. I deleted 90% of them because I don't care what they have to say. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to see it. I don't care. Whatever. Go away. I have zero tolerance for that anymore. But the second video, maybe a couple. The third video, 2 or 3. But now, since then, they're not here anymore. They have given up. Why have they given up? I don't know. But it's good. Maybe they realized, okay, Awen really isn't playing with us. They're really not. She's really not playing with us. There's no point to go post over there. Right? They're not getting the fights they wanted. They're not getting the arguments in thing. They're not getting any reaction from me. You're not getting anything. You absolutely wasted your time. And you gave me more points on the algorithm. So thank you. Right? Maybe they realized that and they just went away. I don't think that's it. I think that people know they don't have anything to defend her with. There's not a tiny iota of logic that you can use right now in defense of Lauren. There's nothing. She's got nothing. Simi Sharp says Lauren shot all her credibility, but yes, she did. She did. So I think they're probably realizing, well, I can't leave a nasty comment over on this channel because I got nothing. You've got nothing to work with. Now she still has her following. I was talking with one of my mods this morning on the phone, talking about the comments in her live with WebSleuth, Trish over at WebSleuth, and people were saying, "Lauren, it's okay. I don't care what those idiots say. I still love you, and I will follow you to the ends of the earth." I'm like, that's not a cult. Okay, whatever. But there's that level of devotees that she has, and that's fine. They'll probably stay with her to the end. And whatever, let them do it. I don't care. But the flying monkeys have kind of dissipated. And I think that's really good. I think that says a lot about what's going on as far as the awareness of what's happening. Certainly, there are so many channels showing Christina's videos and talking about what actually all went down at CrimeCon and what happened with the stuff Lauren did with Murder Sheet and the Delphi case and the prosecutors there. And there's so much information right now about things that Lauren has done over the years that you just can't fight against it. There's no way to combat every single one of these allegations. And they're not just allegations when you've got the stuff on video. You know what I mean? Not just screenshots, actual videos. Oh, bye, just me. I will see you later. Thank you for being here, and I'll talk with you soon, I'm sure. So, yeah, I think the flying monkeys realized they got nothing to work with. So there you go. They're gone. And I think that's great. What happened in Delphi that I'm in trance. There's a lot. I need to remember there's a channel. She didn't do something to Murder Sheet. She did stuff with them. There's a doxing allegation and I don't know, all kinds of stuff like that. That's a whole different world. I didn't follow the Delphi case through her. I only watched like Andrea Burkhart and Defense Diaries. So I had no idea what was going on behind the scenes with that. But there are a lot of channels that are covering that. Oh, I can't remember the names. I think Kresha knows. Oh, Kresha, are you here? Is it allegedly innocent? Maybe Jules, who was covering what Lauren did in the Delphi case. I can't remember, but I'm sure if you look it up, uh, Lauren Matthias Delphi maybe would bring up some videos. There's a lot. I've just started looking into all of that, so I don't even have enough information. Sleuthy Goosey, yes, Sleuthy Goosey has a ton of info on Lauren and the Delphi case. Yes, she's a great follow on Twitter. She helps a lot of other YouTubers, so yeah, definitely look up Sleuthy Goosey. And Kresha, hi, I'm so glad you're here. I hope you're doing well. We were talking about you in the best possible way, of course. But yeah, so the Delphi, the things that Lauren got up to in the Delphi case is, I want to say, just as bad as the this case, the Vallow case, but it wasn't, because I don't think she got her hooks in the family. So it seemed like they worked together to set the prosecution's narrative in stone, something along those lines. Controlled oppositions. Yeah, yes, because Lauren was very close to the prosecution team in the Delphi case, which is curious. That could be an issue, allegedly, in my opinion. So, uh, Andy Kopsa. Andy Kopsa is great. I just found Andy like last week. Andy Kopsa is wonderful. I love listening to her. She's got a ton of the Delphi information. Sleuthy Goosey, and I think even Excited Utterance and Dolly, maybe? I'm not sure. Um, she didn't get her hooks in the family. Thank goodness. Yes. Thank you, Death by Booby. That's a cute name. But yeah, she didn't get into this. So I'm very glad. I'm very glad that she did not do that. Controlled opposition and coercive control. Oh, the Susan Hendricks issue? Yep. I've just heard of that. I heard of that through, was it Turtle Boy? I think it was Turtle Boy talking about the Susan Hendricks issue. So there's so much more over the years that Lauren has done, besides what happened with me and what happened with the Vallow case and what's still happening with the family, like her interview with Colby. So it's still continuing, and she's doing it in all of these other cases, and it's all going to come out in the wash. And the smartest thing Lauren could do is go away. Lauren, you got to know when to fold them, and you got to know when to walk away, and you got to know when to run. Now is probably the time to run. And that's not a threat. Don't even start taking it that way. But there's so much that you can't argue against, that you should probably get out now while you can. You know. Hi, Dark Side of the Moon. Dark Side. A funny thing. 4 or 5 years ago, when I had my channel running, up and running, Dark Side of the Moon would always say hi in chat, and on every video would leave a comment with just a little heart. And every time I'd go back the next morning to check on the comments and moderate them, I always looked for that one, because it just, I don't know, it just, that one little heart always made me so happy to see that. And when I first came back, and the first time Dark Side of the Moon came back to chat and did that, I was like, I was so freaking excited. So even a tiny little gesture like that can really bring someone joy. So thank you, Dark Side of the Moon. It's always brought me joy. Crasher said, I'm still waiting to hear back from Turtle Boy since I responded. Oh, goodness. He hasn't responded again yet? Goodness. Heard him say last night that he has to be arraigned or something. Yeah, that's true. He does have some legal stuff going on. Hopefully he will get back to you. I really hope so. That would be awesome to see. And once it's scheduled, I'm sure Kresha will let me know, and I will post community and post on Twitter, so anyone who's following me here will know when to catch that Turtle Boy episode, and we can all be in chat and jumping up and down for Kresha to support her, because I'd be scared to go on Turtle Boy. I would be a little nervous. So we'll be there to support you every step of that way. Yeah, he's busy. He's got a bunch of court stuff going on, and he's winning all his cases. He is really winning. Plus, he's got to cover the new lawsuit filed by Karen Reed. So, yeah, he's got so much going on. So, hopefully, that will happen. I love it. So, yeah, I'm not sure about tomorrow. I'm technically supposed to go live tomorrow at 7. We're going to talk about the tools for healing from toxic internet relationship, because they served me very well. Yes, I'm still here talking about it, and I'm upset, but the tools that I have in place got me through the last couple of years and gave me the strength to come out and deal with it again. So they're good tools. They're really good tools, and I want to share them with all of you, because why keep them to myself? So hopefully that'll be tomorrow, depending on how it goes to the dentist. I don't know exactly what he's doing. I don't know what bridges actually entail. I'm not going to look it up because I don't want to know, because then I won't go. But if I'm in pain and my face is swollen, I probably won't go live. But if I'm okay, we'll be live tomorrow night. So I did have some things to show you before we go. Look what I made. I've been making these ornaments. Can I add them both to the stage? No, I can't. I've been making these Christmas ornaments. You know, the Wheat Stitch? Actually, I like this one better. The Wheat Stitch by Brianna Kay, and I've linked her channel somewhere. I love this stitch. I've used it for blankets, for the purses that I make, and now for Christmas ornaments. Like, yeah. So I've been doing that. And my husband said that I could put a box of them on the counter at his store and just sell them. I'm like, oh, then I'd have to make a lot, but that could be fun, right? Make a little Christmas cash selling some ornaments. So yeah, but that is keeping me so calm. Crocheting is just, it makes my brain calm right down, and I could sit and talk. Kresha, are you still here? I wanted to show you something. If Kresha's still here, I'm going to put it on the screen. I saw this morning, Kresha, on Twitter, and oh, it made me think of our conversation the other night where we were talking about how the merry-go-round and how crazy things are. I was like, this is it. You know, Kresha, you said to me, hey, man, I'm just tired of this. I saw this tweet. I was like, oh, that's it. 100%. That is exactly what's going on. So I wanted to show that to you because it made so much sense to me. Kresha says she and Colby had heard rumors already, like those of us too, that it was Lauren who put money on Lori's commissary, but used Lindsay, her contractor, to do her bidding. Yeah, you know, and man, hey, boss lady, it's good to see you. And that's why I got so riled up over the weekend, is hearing these things of, Lauren really trying to get to Lori so she could get an interview with her, accusing me of doing that when I wasn't, and she's here doing it. I was like, man, bitch, shut your mouth, man. You know. So yeah, I am in my Katy Perry phase of life, where I'm just walk around singing "Swish Swish Bish" all day. That is my new theme song. Swish swish bish. My name keeps coming out your mouth. No, not. Mm-mm-mm-mm. So yeah, I try to be the happy, spiritual, calm, centered tree, but I'm really having a Katy Perry moment, and that's okay. It's okay. It's part of the healing process, right? Run around the house singing Katy Perry songs all day. If it works, it works. It works. It works. Uh, Rambo Hydro says, bribing that Cora whore with honey bun money. Yep, absolutely. And then using her own son to try and make it happen. Allegedly. I don't even know if it happened, but it would make sense to me. Oh, Lori, if you give me an interview, I'll make sure all the money goes to Colby. Like Lori would care. She'd be like, why would you give it to Colby? Give it to me. It's my money. I need it for honey buns and Skittles for her lipstick. Yeah, if anyone in chat, I hope I haven't been watching it close. Let's not go with Colby. My concern is that Lauren Matthias is trying to get her hooks into Colby too, and he doesn't need that. He doesn't. Um, Colby's had a rough road, and I'm not going to judge anything he's done or said because I can't put myself in his shoes. I can't imagine what it's like to know that my mother killed my brother and sister and my stepfather and other people. And Colby never, or maybe never knew Tammy, but he knew Joe. Although Lori is not accused of killing Joe, we all have our thoughts on that. So Colby did not live a nice, happy childhood. He did not. We got to give him space, and we have to give him grace. Okay. Our concern is that Colby's being used, like Kresh says, using Colby as a pawn, whose mother also used her son as a pawn. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. I don't know where Colby stands. Colby is the one family member I never talked to. I never reached out to Colby. We talked a little, like in chats. I would go to his live stream and say hi, wished him congratulations on the birth of his child, his second daughter. Um, but I've never had a one-on-one with Colby, and that was intentional because I knew Colby was dealing with so much, and he was having trouble processing everything, right? He didn't need some YouTuber talking to him. Nope. So Colby was completely off limits always for me, and I think he should have stayed that way. And I'm very sorry to see uh hidden true crime get their hooks in him. I do. I don't think, you know I don't think he's aware of the manipulation that could be coming, and I'm in fear for Colby. I am. I don't want Colby to get used and abused. So That's a concern. So yeah, please don't have a go at Colby. I know there's some things a lot of people aren't happy about, but just that's it. That's Colby's life. That's not something we're gonna judge on. Okay. They use people. They do use people like currency. Crusher, they absolutely do. You know, like Crusher. I'm sure you've seen the video of. I was talking about it earlier of Lauren outside the courthouse where Larry is sitting on the bench, just absolutely devastated. I mean, you can just see just from his body posture that Larry is just devastated. And what does this woman do? Does she walk over and put her arm around him or bring him a water or can I get you anything, Larry? You need a hug? No, she's filming it. And then at the end of it, she goes, okay, well, I'm done. Okay, yeah, you can go talk to him now. Like she's giving somebody else permission to go talk to her victim when he's sitting there distraught. And instead of helping him, she just, oh man, I saw that last night. I hadn't seen that before. I saw that last night on somebody's live stream. About lost my mind. About lost my mind. So, yeah, that's who she is. That video right there is exactly who Lauren Matthias is. If you ever want to know who she is, just watch that. And that is all any reasonable, sensible person ever needs to see is that 30-second video to know exactly what to think about Lauren Matthias. There's nothing I could say that could make it any clearer. So, and she's done that to the family. If I can't, I cannot. So yeah, that's what's going on. I think that's what's happening. I think that's why there are no flying monkeys right now because you can't defend that. There's nothing you could say to defend that. Chris says infuriating, and I didn't know she did that. We thought Chad was gonna get off for JJ's death. Oh man. Oh yeah, I can't imagine. You know, if yeah, no, I'm gonna keep my mouth shut. I gotta be careful. I have to use my allegedlys and opinions and blah blah blah. I must be careful. But yeah, yes, Lauren and John said in their live that they wanted to adopt Colby, and I'm like, Colby, you got to know when to run. It's time to run. Start running. Get away from them. You know. And as much as I would like to reach out to Colby and be like, run, dude, run, run, Forrest, run. You know, not my place. Colby has his life to experience, and hopefully he's paying attention enough to know that is a bad deal. Very bad deal. So Crasher says, I know how pissed off I was when that happened in court that day. I went to my shop and proceeded to act like a bull in Shisha. Oh goodness. Yeah. They are vultures, Mama Bear. They are. Colby's good. I'm glad Colby's paying attention. Man, I don't want to adopt Colby. I'd like to give him a hug and be like, dude, how can I help you? I'd like to give him a hug, but I'm not going to put him on a live stream. I'm not going to exploit him. I'm not going to promise to adopt him. I'm not going to promise to give him money if I could interview his mom. What are you doing? That is not what Colby needs. Colby needs some loving, empathetic adults in his life to take his hand. Just take his hand and walk with him. That's all you got to do. You don't have to adopt him. You don't have to use him. Just grab his hand and be like, "Hey, let's go for a walk." That's all. So yeah, that's all you got to do. All right, I have some crocheting to do. No, what I really have to do is psych myself up to go to the dentist. Guys, don't let me scoop out in the dentist. I had to pay a $200 deposit for my dentist visit tomorrow. You know why? Because I cancel them so often, and they're so sick of me canceling my appointments. Because I chicken out. I absolutely chicken out and run away. And so, like, because I guess the bridge has spent $4,500 for this thing. It's a 3-hour procedure. So they made me put a $200 deposit down. Because I canceled it last time because I chickened out. So yeah, I have to go tomorrow. Absolutely have to go. Must get it done. Plus, then I can go on camera. You know, I'm not that vain of a person. I don't do Botox and all that crap. I'm not even going to wear makeup. But I will not go on camera with a missing front tooth. Won't do it. So maybe tomorrow night. You never know. And maybe I'll have a special McArches on. No, I don't think I would do that. I kind of want to, though. Yeah, if I get it over with. See, if I had gone last week when I was supposed to, it would be over with by now, but I'm prolonging the torture by not doing it. Oh, Lucas, you had oh, you're talking to Kresha. Okay. I didn't know if I missed a question. I'm sorry. Uh Dana Merck says, "Hi, Eamon and Kresha. Just started watching you both. Eamon and I rescue and foster cats. Oh, awesome. Kresha, I'm interested in enjoying the deep dive. Yep. Yeah. Oh, let me get you a link. Oh, feeding it. Do you have a link to Kresha's channel? Hold on, I can get one. Where is it? Where's my YouTube? I'm gonna actually start putting some links in the descriptions so that while we're talking, uh, the links to the channels that I talk about a lot are actually already there. That would be smart. SMRT. That spells smart. Whoops. No, I didn't say cut. I said copy. All right, there. That's Kresha's channel. Difficult Research. I love the name because that's exactly what it is. It's difficult and it's occult research. So difficult research. Ooh, excuse me. Yeah, I burped. So what? Deal with it. So yeah, please go subscribe to Kresha. Um, the whole reason I even came back was to jump in front of that bull with my red cape, just to get in front of Kresha and be like, "Nuh-uh, Matthias, you come in me. You want to go to Kresha, you're gonna go through me, and it's gonna suck for you." So, I need Nightbot to drop. Yeah, I see. Back when I was doing YouTube before, we didn't have Nightbot. We had there was a stream link or something that got messed up all the time. I will look into how to make Nightbot work because that would be great. Drop links and stuff. Yeah, I will do that. So yes, I am gonna go to the dentist tomorrow. Hopefully, I'll be on tomorrow night. If not, you see, Anarch, my husband is British. He's still a British citizen, and he said it would be cheaper for us to buy 2 round trip tickets to England. We'll stay with my son-in-law over there, get it done, and then come back. We would spend less than $4,500 to do that. And I'm like, we could use a vacation to England. That could be fun. I mean, I'd spend more than that just shopping, but whatever. But technically, it would be cheaper for me to fly to another country to get my tooth fixed. That's crazy. That's insane. You know? Yeah, Discord. I was gonna do Discord over the weekend. Totally forgot about it. My son and daughter-in-law are gonna set up. I have the old Discord still. I'm not. That one's got bad juju or something now, so I want to make a new one. But it is still there. I'm still on it. So if you're still on my Discord, you can type and I'll say hi. I can still see it. So, oh man. Crasher says, wordplay. I had named one of my playlists Difficult Research, and my channel name was my actual name at that time. Yeah, I remember that. My friend was like, well, that's a good name. And I was like, oh, yeah, it is, because with the capitalization of cult, it's like, oh, that's perfect. That's perfect. So yeah, if you are on my old Discord, it's still running, and I'm still there. So please just jump up and say hi, and maybe we'll just pick that one up and get rid of all the old stuff, the old content, make some new channels. Keep going. We'll see. That would be easier because it's already in existence. We'll have to set up a new one. But, oh, yeah. All right. So dentist we talked about tomorrow. Hopefully I'll be live tomorrow night, but not if my face is swollen and that kind of stuff. Because I don't want to talk either. It's going to hurt. I'm afraid it's going to hurt. I'm so glad I'm back because, yeah, it was hard. The hardest thing, and I've said this a little bit, I didn't really get too deep, but the hardest thing for me when I walked away all those years ago was cutting off the friendships I was building. I have missed talking to you, Kresha, for all of these years. But I wasn't going to jump in and bring more drama to your door. You had enough going on. I have missed talking to Kay and Larry and even Annie Cushing. See, I don't know all the stuff that went down with Annie Cushing after I left. Before I left, there wasn't any crap going on, so I don't know about all that. But I miss back in the day. I really do. And I had to walk away from it all to keep everyone safer and protect myself. And it's yucky. But yeah, justice is coming full circle, which is important. Maybe someday we're going to have a big party together in real life. Like, you're not that far away from me. I can get in a car. We'll get a big pot K's gumbo and have a party. Yep. No, this is not drama. This is healing from crap other people have done. That's a whole different thing than drama. Yep. Yep. So, all right, we're gonna all have a good day. I'm gonna crochet and go. I did get all my Trader Joe's snacks this weekend, so I got to start snacking. Cause man, snacks, where it's at? Go to Trader Joe's. Oh, YouTube Shorts. That's right. I finally figured out how to make them. I'm not good at it yet. I got to play with it. But I'm going to put all of the cats, certainly all the cats that are available for adoption, will be featured on my YouTube Shorts. If you're anywhere near me, I know y'all don't know where I am. I will say that I am in North Texas, and we're going to leave it at that. I'm in North Texas. But if you want to adopt one of the cats and you're close enough to come get it, just let me know. We'll talk. I do have an interview process because I don't give my cats to just anyone. I am extremely particular about people that adopt the cats that we rescue. But if you're interested, please just let me know and we can talk it through. But I'll start getting some more videos as soon as I get better at it. They're going to suck quality, but whatever. It's cat videos. Who cares, right? So yes, I'll be having fun with YouTube Shorts. Hopefully see you tomorrow night. That would be great. Yep. Thank you, Dark Side. Wish me luck for the dentist tomorrow. And, you may have to hold me accountable and start texting me. Did you go to the dentist? Are you there? Are you there? Send me a picture. That's what I'll put a picture on my YouTube comment thread or Twitter proving that I'm actually there. Okay. And if I don't go, then y'all have to unsub and I'll shut down my channel. That will make me go. We'll do that. Yes, Sinatra is a very special boy. I love that cat. And I want to keep him, but he doesn't interact that well with our house cats. And yeah, he needs his own home. He does. Yep, Pixar didn't happen. All right, so hopefully I'll see you tomorrow. Chris says in your neighbor in Southwest LA, we get more. Yeah, there's a lot of bad weather down there. But we're getting bad weather, thunderstorms today. So ooh, I like thunderstorms. All right, so watch for the cats. Yes, please nag me, and I promise I will post pictures from the dentist's office to prove that I'm there with the newspaper or something with the date. All right, have a good day. Thank you all for joining me. Peace, love, and light. And like Gresha says, her logo, love always wins. We got this. Oh, wait, I'm going to play my outro video. Ooh, yeah. Find that button again. So let me know if you like this song better than the other song. I think it's too slow and too long, but we'll see. Here we go. I'll see you all hopefully tomorrow.
Come and sit with me. Let's talk about everything. Together we can find answers to heal the mind. I have a lot of stories to tell. Times I ran and times I fell. I'm here to say it's gonna be okay. Take my hand, let's be on our way. We're sitting on top of the world. We're gonna rise above the fray. We're gonna find our peace. We're gonna lead the way. Come take a walk with me.